Denims is caught contradicting her own past, contradicting and criticizing Hasan. Asmongold is firing back with zero chills. Emiru is still being dragged for committing the unforgivable crime of minding her own business. And Ethan Klein walking in like it's a roast session nobody asked for, but everyone needed. Let's rewind the tape, because this whole Twitch controversy didn't spawn out of thin air. It crawled out of the same swamp that produces performative activism and monetized outrage. The spark was simple. Emiru didn't loudly broadcast the approved opinion fast enough, and that alone was enough for certain creators to decide she needed to be educated in public. The funniest part is that Emiru's so-called crime wasn't even a take, it was neutrality, and neutrality in online politics is treated like treason. You're either repeating the slogan on schedule or you're the villain of the week.
Everyone on the left is so socially woke that they feel like they can't possibly be wrong. Point in case Hasan.
Now, enter Denims, who somehow managed to speedrun self-exposure by having her old clips resurface, where she openly criticized Hasan Piker for doing exactly what he's accused of today: bad faith arguments, moral superiority, and a cult-like expectation that everyone on the left must download the entire opinion pack with zero questions asked. And here's the wild part, she wasn't wrong back then. She literally described the hive mind behavior people complain about now, acknowledged the narcissism, and called out the lack of nuance.
Like, if Hasan thinks he's morally more virtuous than someone else, he just flames them. I'm forgetting the word I want to use, but he just flames them. Like, he doesn't actually make any genuine good faith arguments towards other people.
Then somewhere along the timeline, that clarity evaporated like Twitch DOS enforcement. Suddenly, she's one of the loudest enforcers of the same behavior she once mocked, which raises the obvious question: what changed? The evidence or the incentives? People can change opinions, sure, but changing into the exact thing you criticized is less growth arc and more villain origin story. Things went nuclear when even more old clips dropped, including takes that had Ethan Klein reacting like a man who just read chat without mods, justifying obviously taboo positions in abstract moral language. Might have been points in debate club, but on the internet, it just looks unhinged. And once that clip circulated, the credibility meter flatlined. Ethan didn't even need to go hard. A single cringe reaction did most of the damage, and from there, the floodgates opened. Suddenly, Denims wasn't positioned as the righteous activist, but as another example of selective outrage paired with extremely flexible principles. And once the audience smells inconsistency, it's over, because the internet forgives stupidity faster than hypocrisy. Meanwhile, Hasan Piker doubled down on the classic line that who you associate with says everything about you, aimed directly at Emiru for being friends with Asmongold. On paper, that sounds reasonable until you apply it consistently, which is where the argument collapses like a folding chair. Asmongold finally snapped, and honestly, it was inevitable.
Literally all she said.
No, she said you can't do that, which is...
And you see, Denims remembers exactly what Emmy said about that lawsuit. She remembers the exact words that she used.
Watching a friend get dogpiled for staying apolitical while the same people preaching kindness coordinated harassment trends to flip a switch, his response wasn't polite, it wasn't diplomatic, but it was raw, and that's why it landed.
It's because she's been mad about this for months, and she's been waiting on something that she can use to dogpile on someone who said the obvious truth, so they can so they can suppress and try to demonize anybody who holds them accountable. That's the reason. She's been sitting on this for fucking months.
When you spend months poking someone and then clutch pearls when they swing back, you don't get to act shocked, and the irony of calling out harassment communities while benefiting from them for years is so thick you could monetize it as a reaction clip.
He would have made a bunch of jokes.
Yes.
He would have smeared my character. He would have smeared it by saying like, well, who even cares what this person... Everybody knows.
Well, nobody cares what you think. That's the reason why you're talking about people do care what they think. You're a worthless nobody, and you'll always be a worthless nobody.
Then there's the cherry on top, Hasan attempting to reposition himself as the protector, sliding into Emiru's social circle by reframing Asmongold as some looming existential threat, complete with dramatic speeches about inevitability and righteousness. It's manipulative, it's transparent, and it's the same cult tactic recycled for the 1000th time. Isolate, pressure, and replace. Dress it up as activism if you want, but it's still coercion with better branding, and that's where we land. Another Twitch drama saga exposing the same pattern over and over again. Performative activism replacing real impact, moral purity tests enforced by people with the messiest closets, and outrage farming disguised as virtue. Watch this video next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers!